So you've noticed a weird stain on your ceiling, or maybe there's a musty smell in a room that you just can't explain, and now you're lying awake at night wondering if there's water slowly destroying things behind your walls. I get it. That's one of the most stressful situations a homeowner can face because you can't see what's happening. Well, today, I'm going to walk you through my detective method for tracking down hidden water leaks inside your walls, step by step, without tearing your whole house apart. And if you stick around to the end, I'll show you how to set up a simple early warning system so you never get blindsided by a hidden leak again. Let's get to work. Finding a hidden leak is honestly one of those skills that separates a confident homeowner from someone who panics and writes a $4,000 check to the first contractor who shows up. The good news is you don't need fancy equipment to start. You just need a system, and that's exactly what I'm going to give you, starting with your water meter. All right, step 1. Before you start poking around walls, you need to confirm that you actually have a leak and not just condensation or an old stain from something that was fixed years ago. Your water meter is going to tell you the truth. Here's what you do. Go through your house and shut off every single thing that uses water. Every faucet, every toilet, the dishwasher, washing machine, ice maker, all of it. Even the sprinkler system outside. Then head out to your water meter, which is usually near the curb in a concrete or plastic box set into the ground. Open that cover and look at the dial. Most meters have a small triangle or a little wheel somewhere on the face. That's your low flow indicator. If everything in your house is truly off, and that little indicator is still spinning, you've got water moving through your system that shouldn't be. That means you have a leak somewhere. Now here's a pro tip. If that indicator is completely still, don't celebrate just yet. Write down the exact meter reading, wait 2 hours without using any water, and check it again. Some leaks are so slow they won't trigger the low flow indicator in real time, but they'll absolutely show up over a couple hours. If that number changed even a tiny bit, you've got a slow leak, and it's time to start hunting. Now that you've confirmed water's going somewhere it shouldn't, let's do a visual sweep of your house. This is where you put on your detective hat. You're going to walk through every room, and I mean every room, including closets, the laundry area, under every sink, and around every toilet. Here's exactly what you're looking for. First, discoloration on walls or ceilings. Water stains usually show up as yellowish or brownish rings, and they often have a defined edge. If the stain is darker in the center and lighter on the outside, that's typically an active or recent leak. Second, look for paint that's bubbling, peeling, or blistering. Water behind drywall pushes moisture through, and paint reacts to that. If you see a section of wall where the paint looks different from the rest, mark that spot. Third, check your baseboards. Are any of them warping, pulling away from the wall, or showing water damage along the bottom edge? That's a huge clue. Fourth, look at your flooring near walls. Warped hardwood, buckled laminate, or tiles that have come loose can all point to moisture migrating down from inside a wall cavity. And fifth, check for any visible mold. Even a small patch of black or green mold on a wall surface is telling you there's moisture behind it. I always tell people, mold doesn't just show up for no reason. It needs a water source. One thing I've learned over 35 years is that leaks are lazy. Water follows gravity and takes the path of least resistance. So the stain you see on your ceiling might not be directly below the leak. The water could be traveling along a joist or a pipe for several feet before it finally drips down and shows itself. Keep that in mind as we narrow things down. By the way, if you are finding this helpful, you should know this is just a taste of what I have put into my book, 50 Easy Plumbing Fixes That Will Save You $10,000. It covers everything from leaky faucets to running toilets, step by step with diagrams. You can grab your copy by scanning the QR code on screen right now, or just use the first link in the description below. All right, let us keep going. So you found some suspicious spots on your walls. Now we're going to get up close and personal. This is what I call the touch and smell method, and it costs you absolutely nothing. Walk up to every suspicious area you identified and place the back of your hand flat against the wall. The back of your hand is more sensitive to temperature and moisture than your palm. What you're feeling for is any spot that's noticeably cooler or damp compared to the surrounding wall. Even a subtle difference matters. A wall that feels cool in one specific area, when the rest of the wall is room temperature, is holding moisture. Now use your nose. Lean in close to those areas and take a good sniff. A hidden leak that's been going for a while will produce a very distinct musty, earthy smell. It's not always mold you're smelling. Sometimes it's just wet drywall and wood. But that smell is unmistakable once you know it. Here's something most people don't think about. Press gently on the drywall with your thumb in the suspicious area. Healthy drywall feels solid and firm. Drywall that's been soaking up water will feel soft, almost spongy. If your thumb pushes in even slightly, that wall is saturated and you've found a hot zone. I had a job a few years back where the homeowner thought they had a leak in their bathroom, but using this method, we actually found the problem was in the wall on the opposite side, behind their bedroom closet. The water had been traveling along a horizontal pipe for about 4 feet before it finally soaked through. The touch test on the closet wall gave it away immediately. All right, now we're going to bring in an affordable tool that takes the guesswork out of this process. A pin-type moisture meter. You can pick up a decent one for about $25 to $40 at any hardware store or online. This little device has 2 small pins on the end that you press into the surface of the drywall, and it gives you a moisture reading, usually on a scale from 0 to 100. Here's how to use it effectively. Start by taking a baseline reading on a section of wall that you know is dry. That gives you your normal number for comparison. In most homes, dry drywall reads somewhere between 0 and 15%. Now move to your suspicious areas and take readings in a grid pattern. I like to go every 6 inches, both horizontally and vertically. Write down your numbers or mark the wall lightly with a pencil. What you're looking for is the moisture gradient. The readings will get higher as you get closer to the actual source of the leak. Think of it like a heat map. The wettest spot with the highest reading is your ground zero. Now here's something important. The pinholes this meter leaves are tiny, smaller than a nail hole. You can fill them with a dab of spackle later, so don't worry about damaging your wall. This step alone has saved me from cutting unnecessary holes more times than I can count. The moisture meter turns a guessing game into a science, and I honestly think every homeowner should have one in their toolbox right next to their tape measure. For those of you who want to take it one step further, a thermal imaging camera will let you see temperature differences behind your walls without touching them. Now, before you think this is some $10,000 piece of equipment, there are thermal imaging attachments for your smartphone that run about $200 to $350. The FLIR one is a popular option. What you're looking for on the thermal image is a cold spot on the wall. Water evaporating inside a wall cavity creates a cooler area, and on the thermal camera, that shows up as a distinct blue or purple patch against the warmer surrounding wall. Point the camera at your suspicious areas and watch the screen. A leak pattern usually shows up as an irregular cool zone, often with drip lines running downward. This is incredibly satisfying because you can literally see the shape of the water damage without cutting a single hole. Now, if buying one doesn't make sense for you, some hardware rental centers carry them for about $50 to $75 a day. That's a worthwhile investment when the alternative is ripping open walls blindly. Between your moisture meter readings and the thermal image, you should now have a very clear picture of exactly where the leak is hiding. Now it's time to go in, but we're doing this strategically. You don't need to demolish an entire wall. Take your highest moisture meter reading or the center of your thermal cold spot and mark a rectangle on the wall about 12 inches wide by 12 inches tall. That's your access point. Use a utility knife to score along your lines first, cutting through the paint and paper face of the drywall. Then use a drywall saw to carefully cut along those scored lines. Go slow and keep your cuts shallow, about 5/8 of an inch deep, which is the thickness of most residential drywall. You don't want to saw through and hit a pipe or wire behind it. Once you pull that piece out, use a flashlight and look inside the cavity. Check the back side of the surrounding drywall for water stains and mold. Look at any pipes running through that cavity. Look at the studs and the bottom plate for water trails. Water leaves a trail, always. You'll see discoloration, mineral deposits, or actual drip paths on the wooden pipes. If you don't find the source in your first opening, don't panic. Cut a second small access hole about 18 to 24 inches higher or to the side, following the moisture trail upstream. I've had jobs where it took 3 small holes to find the source, but 3 small patches are a whole lot cheaper than replacing an entire wall. Once you've got eyes on the leak, take a moment to assess what you're dealing with before you grab a wrench. Is it a pinhole leak in a copper pipe? A failed solder joint? A loose fitting on a PEX line? Or is it coming from a drain pipe above? Each one has a different repair approach. Look at the wood framing around the leak. If the studs and plate are just damp or lightly stained, they'll dry out fine once the leak is fixed. But if you see black mold covering the wood, or if the wood is soft and crumbling when you poke it with a screwdriver, you've got rot, and that framing will need to be addressed. Also, check for mold on the back side of the drywall you removed. If it's there, you'll want to cut out drywall at least 12 inches beyond the visible mold in every direction. Take photos of everything before you start repairs. Your phone camera with the flash on is perfect. These photos are invaluable if you need to file an insurance claim, or if you bring in a plumber and want to show them exactly what you found. Let's go over some common issues people run into during this process, because not every clue leads where you think it will. First, you find moisture in the wall, but there are no water supply pipes in that cavity. Look up. The water might be coming from a bathroom directly above, traveling down through the floor and into the wall below. Gravity moves water in ways that can really fool you. Second, your moisture meter shows high readings near an exterior wall during humid summer months. That might not be a leak at all. That could be condensation forming inside the wall because of the temperature difference between your air conditioning and the hot air outside. If the readings are consistent across the entire exterior wall, rather than concentrated in one spot, condensation is your likely culprit. Third, you smell must but can't find any visual signs or moisture readings. Check your HVAC system. A condensate drain line that's clogged or a drip pan that's overflowing can send water into wall cavities near your air handler, and the leak might be intermittent, only happening when the system is running hard. Fourth, you find a leak but it seems to stop and start on its own. This often points to a drain line issue rather than a supply line. Supply lines are under constant pressure, so they leak all the time. Drain lines only carry water when someone uses a fixture, so the leak comes and goes. Pay attention to when the moisture appears relative to when someone takes a shower or runs the washing machine. Fifth, you see mold on the wall surface, but the wall behind it tests dry. That mold might be feeding on surface moisture from high humidity in the room, not a wall leak. Check your bathroom ventilation. A fan that doesn't vent to the outside, or a room without adequate airflow, can create enough surface moisture for mold to thrive, without any pipe leak being involved. All right, here's that bonus tip I promised you at the beginning. And honestly, this one can save you from ever going through this detective process again. Install a couple of inexpensive water leak sensors in the areas most vulnerable to hidden leaks. I'm talking about behind your washing machine, under your water heater, near your main water shutoff, and at the base of walls that have supply lines running through them. You can pick up basic leak sensors for about $10 to $15 each, and the smart ones that send alerts to your phone run about $20 to $30. These little devices sit on the floor or mount low on the wall, and the moment water touches them, they alarm. The smart versions will send you a notification even if you're not home. For about $100 total, you can cover every high-risk area in your house. I install these on every job where I've repaired a hidden leak, and I put them in my own home too. One of my customers caught a supply line failure at 2 in the morning because the sensor woke them up. They shut off the water in minutes. Without that sensor, they would have woken up to a flooded first floor. $10 device saved them easily $15,000 in damage. That's the kind of math I love. All right, that is the full breakdown. Remember, every single plumbing fix I wish homeowners knew about is in my book, 50 Easy Plumbing Fixes That Will Save You $10,000. Scan the QR code on screen right now or grab it from the first link in the description. I appreciate you watching, and if you want more of these practical fixes, make sure to subscribe. I will see you in the next one.